Hey YouTube, it's Pace2K here, and today I got a brand new video on here about Victor Oladipo and pretty much how he's been doubted for his whole career, but he always ends up coming up on top of people and just proving them wrong in general. So yeah, let's get straight to it. So this pretty much started all the way back in draft night before he even played an NBA game just yet. You had analysts and experts of the draft breaking his game down. They had him projected to go to the Magic at the number 2 spot, and that was obviously correct, but it's just the things it would say, like saying that he hasn't really shown much from the offensive end, and that he's a pretty bad three-point shooter, or at least he hasn't shown much from there, and that he was a bad mid-range shooter as well. Like all those things, just pretty much dissing his game a little bit. And then fans and just the narrative in general of that draft class was that it was a bad draft class, and that the only reason that he was going to get picked high was because it was a bad draft class. Not really highlighting his talent, just pretty much saying, oh, you're only going to get picked this high because this is a bad draft class. And that's just disrespectful. It really is. So yeah, he obviously had to prove people wrong right there, and he obviously did, because in his rookie year he was second in rookie of the year voting. He ended up posting up 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was only behind Michael Carter-Williams, and I think we can all agree that one is a lot better than the other. So yeah, I'll just leave it right there. And during his second year, he did improve from the three-point range. He was better from there, and he just had a bigger role on the Magic in general. And yeah, I definitely think he was good from there, because he obviously had a lot of baggage on him after his rookie season. He had to top it, obviously, and he was able to do that with a little bit of improvement. Unfortunately for Vic, though, during his third season, the Magic kind of took a different approach, and they pretty much reduced his role and gave a bigger role to guys like Evan Fournier and Elfrid Payton. And like I said, they just pretty much took away Victor's opportunities and gave them to other players, and that ultimately ended up getting him traded to Oklahoma City, where he ended up playing with Russell Westbrook for one season. It was Russell Westbrook's MVP season, and the entire NBA was pretty much cheering for him at that point, and they were all saying that he didn't have any help, and that Victor Oladipo as a second option is laughable, all these things. And obviously I'm sure that Victor didn't really take that all that well, and you could definitely tell that he was putting up some weight as well. It just wasn't a great year for him in general. During the playoffs, he obviously had a lot expected of him. It was his first playoffs, but people literally wanted him to be the second option and take down this Houston team, but obviously they weren't able to do that, and he ended up going into the 2017 offseason with a whole different mindset. I actually have a direct quote from him where he said, and I quote, "Attack the summer with the mentality of getting better, coming back better, stronger, and more experienced." And he also referenced his off-season right after he left IU, ended up going to the Magic. That ended up being his most workload that he's ever had during an off-season, and he pretty much said that he's going to repeat that all over again. And I think that was great, and obviously he did that, because during his next year he did end up winning Most Improved Player, but obviously for that to happen he needed a change in scenery, and that's exactly what he got. So that offseason, as we all know as Pacers fans, we ended up getting Sabonis and him, and we lost Paul George finally, after all that time, after all that wait. And I think all us Pacers fans were very, very sad at this, because we all thought that Victor Oladipo was just an average player, and that Sabonis was, at best going to be a pretty good player. So obviously we thought that we took a massive L, and now we know that we didn't take an L, but it's kind of crazy how everything happened, and how the butterfly effects kind of play out. But Either way, though, obviously Victor proved everyone wrong. I literally have a picture pulled up where Bleacher Report literally had us projected as a 12 seed, guys. A 12 seed. That is in the lottery, and that this wasn't, much of a surprise. A lot of people had us in the lottery. Matter of fact, I thought that our team would be a lottery team, but obviously we had a very, crazy locker room setting, in my opinion. Everybody was just kind of in that, I have a chip in my shoulder kind of mentality, and I love that. The 2017-18 season was definitely a memorable one because we were pretty much the underdogs of the NBA. Nobody had us being a 5 seed, but we obviously did that, and Victor was great that season. Obviously, he ended up winning Most Improved Player of the Year, and he definitely deserved it, obviously. So yeah, moving on to the playoffs, we actually took LeBron to 7 games. Everybody chipped in, but Victor obviously did the most, and I mean, he was amazing from 3, first of all, which was obviously the main concern about him, back in college, was his 3-point shot. So up until now, he obviously worked on that, and yeah, he obviously proved everybody wrong about that. But I'm just saying, he was an amazing 3-point shot during that series, and I mean, I don't want to make it about his 3-pointer. It's just like he was an amazing player during that series, and I think we'll all remember that because we almost took down LeBron, and there's no telling what would have happened because LeBron literally made the finals that year. So we might have just made the finals if we won that series. So I mean, that's crazy to think about, but that underdog mentality really stuck, in my opinion. So yeah, Victor was a great player, and he definitely had a lot of baggage on him on that season as well. It was kind of like his rookie season, at least after that one, because a lot of players, and not players, but a lot of fans had him, as this really good two-way player, pretty much labeling him one of the best shooting guards in the league. And it was all about him, like, can he follow this up? Can he get better from this, or at least, match this season once again? Or is he going to go back to his old habits? And what ended up happening was something worse. He obviously got a bunch of little injuries, to start the year, but it was really that January 23rd date where a lot of hope from Pacers fans went down because he got that massive injury, and it's actually a ruptured quadriceps tendon in his right knee. I can't really pronounce it that well. I'm sorry if I messed that up, but yeah, he ended up getting that injury, and it was all over. We knew it was a season-ending injury, and we knew that we were done for the season. We were pretty much just playing to play at that point, and it was kind of sad. We were literally the 3rd seed back then, so we knew we were gonna drop a little bit, but it was kind of impressive that we still stuck by that 5 seed. Either way, though, the main thing here is that Victor finally has something to prove once again, and I think, this is only my opinion, I think that he plays his best when he has something to prove. And if you really look back on his career, that is facts. That is complete facts. Whenever you got people doubting him, he literally goes into the summer just ready to destroy those people, to prove them wrong with his game. And he did that obviously back in draft night, having a great rookie season. He did that back in 2017, obviously proving everybody wrong, who said that it was a bad trade, that the Paul George trade was obviously a Thunder W and a Pacers L. He completely changed that narrative, and yeah, that's crazy because we could never have expected him to literally become one of the best two-way players in the league, and he did that. So Victor is definitely gonna be a monster, I feel like, and I don't think it's really fair on him for us to expect him to come back right away being that amazing two-way player. I think we gotta give him at least half of this season because he is projected to come back on January of this year. So well, not this year, but 2020. So yeah, he's projected to come back then. So he's gonna have about half the season to play, and I think we gotta give him a break, guys. I really do, because he's obviously not gonna be the same Victor Oladipo, but I do expect him the year after. I do expect him to be a monster. I really, really do. I think he's gonna pick off right where he left off, and last off season when they were saying that he was playing like a mini LeBron, I think he's about to pick that right up during his next off season when he has a fully healthy body. So yeah, that's gonna be crazy, and I hope I get to watch it. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video though, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all boys out.